Hi, middle schoolers and middle school families. I hope you're all watching this. This is Mrs. Matul here to go over your Friday ELA home study. So this is for Friday, the 26th of August. We're going to start with sixth grade, which is the slide deck I have up on the screen right now. And I'm starting with Thursday because that's today. So if you happen to miss today, you can look here and see what we did. Live by this weekly work slide deck. I will add 5 slides every Friday, which will be the next week's work. So we'll have the date at the top, so make sure you don't accidentally look at the wrong Thursday or the wrong Friday or the wrong day, and check that date. But live by this because this is where you're going to find everything. All right, so today we did the baseline writing assessment, which is keeping animals wild, and we're going to start in Google Classroom, where the instructions are listed. But please also note homework. On Tuesday, I assigned a vocabulary assignment. There are 2 things that you're turning in. One is a word pick, and the other are sentences that are hashtag sentences that go with that silly squirrel picture. The third thing you need to do is make sure you study for your quiz on Monday, which is going to be a vocabulary quiz, quizzing you on the definitions and parts of speech. If you happen to miss that or you can't find it, make sure you notice that there are links attached to my slide decks where you can find the work that you need. Okay, so now let's pop into Friday. Friday, we're doing the writing assessment. It took a little too long to do it here in class today, so you're just going to finish it up. All right, so let's take a look at it. We're going to pop over to Google Classroom, and here we are. So just as a quick reminder, I'm always going to put my work in classwork, okay? And I do it by week. So this is week 2 of class. Please also note that I made a topic of weekly slide deck. So if you can't remember where to find that weekly slide deck, it's in Google Classroom, okay? But let's look here at week 2, writing assessment, keeping animals wild. We'll quickly go over the directions. It says, please log into No Red Ink and complete the assigned baseline writing assessment, keeping animals wild. Type your essay in No Red Ink, but before you hit submit, copy and paste your assignment into the Google Doc. Be sure to type your name, teacher name, class name, and date onto the Google Doc, that's MLA formatting, and submit your work in both No Red Ink and Google Classroom. So here is your baseline writing assessment Google Doc. That's where you're going to paste it. And here is the link to No Red Ink. But I already have it up, so I'm going to click over here so we can take a look at that assignment. When you log in, it'll show in blue, and it's called Baseline Essay, Keeping Wild Animals. All right, let's just do a quick preview of this assignment. The very first time you log into the assignment, it is going to ask you to click on a few things to make sure you understand how the program works. So the prompt is over here, along with additional materials. Got it. Here's the rubric in case you want to know how I'm grading it. Got it. Now we're ready to write. Okay, we're still in the rubric mode, so I'm going to switch back to the prompt and sources. Have you ever visited a zoo or an aquarium and wondered if the animals were happy? So you're going to form an opinion. Should wild animals ever be kept in captivity? That means, should they be in zoos and cages? It says here you're going to include an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Make sure you check over that rubric to make sure you have a quality piece of work before you submit it. All right, as we scroll down here on the left, you'll see there are 4 sources. Each of those is an article that you should read, and they pose both sides of the argument. We should have animals in captivity, or no, we shouldn't. Okay, make sure you read all 4 sources before typing up your essay. Once you have read your sources, maybe use some paper to jot down and make an outline of what you want your paper to look like. You can start typing it here. If you're working on this today and you wanted to finish tomorrow, you would click save and exit and then come back to it. Once you're done with your essay, don't forget to copy and paste it into Google Classroom, and then you would submit your writing here and in Google Classroom. That's it for you for home study. So let's move on to 7th grade. All right, 7th grade. We'll start with the weekly slide deck because, again, we are living by this weekly work slide deck. So we're starting here again on Thursday. Today we started with a response to literature pre-assessment. So that was me giving you a poem that you read, and then you had to answer some questions, thinking beyond just the literal what's written. What was the author trying to really say without saying it? Okay, so if you were absent today, you would want to make sure you click on that so you can get those and turn those in when you come back on Monday. From that, we started the writing assessment, and the writing assessment is in Google Classroom. Don't forget homework. This you also, seventh grade has vocabulary, and I signed this on Tuesday. So if you wanted to pop back to Tuesday, if you didn't have the actual document, if you lost it, it's here in Google Classroom, or excuse me, in the weekly work slide deck. But you need to make sure you have ready your word pick, your hashtag sentences, and be ready for that quiz on Monday. All right. Friday. Here's our home study day. It says finish the writing assessment we started in class today. Be sure you write your own essay, as this is a pre-assessment and I want to see where you are in your writing. So make sure you don't have mom and dad write, because then I'm assessing them and not you. Remember, this is graded not for content, but just that you turned it in and I can see where you are in your writing. Here's that vocabulary assignment one more time. But now let's go to Google Classroom, which is where the writing assessment is. We need to switch to 7th grade and classwork. And here we are, week 2, writing assessment, persuasive writing. Please note, if you need to find that weekly slide deck, here it is over here off on the side. But we're looking at the writing assessment right now. So it says, using the doc below, write a persuasive response to the question, state your point of view, include 3 reasons with explanation for your point of view, and write a conclusion. Something that's really important here, be sure to use multiple resources in your essay. If you only wrote your essay and it was just all from your brain, you didn't use multiple resources. You have to go on and find someone who supports your idea and include that in your essay, okay? So what you have available here are a couple of things. Here is the poem that we read in class, which is what this is, the prompt is about. There's a graphic organizer available to you. It's just a tool. If you'd like to use it, you can. You do not have to turn that in. Here is where you will actually write or type up your essay and turn that in tomorrow, by tomorrow, okay? So let's wait for this to pop up. Here you have the instructions again. You're writing, the prompt is, do you think the poem New Feet Within My Garden Go should be required reading for all students in your grade? Make sure you put your name, your teacher's name, Mrs. Matul. Class is English Language Arts, or ELA, and the date. So today or tomorrow, whenever you are writing this or typing this, and then start typing your essay. That's it for home study for 7th grade. All right, let's switch over to 8th grade. Back to our weekly slide deck. So 8th grade, we started this pre-assessment journey on Wednesday with a literature pre-assessment, so response to literature. So again, this was a poem you read, and then you answered some questions about that poem, digging deeper than beyond the literal words, but looking at the figurative. What was the author trying to say without saying? We moved into persuasive writing based on the this poem. So if you if you were absent today, you will want to make sure that you log. I will actually add the link right here to that work so that you have it as soon as I finish filming this video. So it will be here if you were absent today. Once we wrote the pre-assessment writing, which was just one paragraph, you actually had to draw a picture. And the what the prompt is think of a time when you had to make a decision that really kind of impacted you. So it could be as simple as a sport. Maybe your mom really wanted you to play volleyball, But then there was this other option of doing tennis, and you weren't sure which you really wanted to do. Which sport should I please mom? Should I do this? Which choice did you pick? Was it a good choice? So we just drew a visual picture of a choice that you made in your life. Like, how did it turn out? And that's what you're going to be writing about. So we actually started writing in class today, but it's also your home study. So road not taken short essay. So let's just pop over to Google Classroom to take a look at that assessment. And we just need to switch to 8th grade. Once again, just making a note. We always find work in classwork in my classroom. Here's the weekly slide deck in case you weren't sure where it was. And here's week 2. So here's that literature pre-assessment. I said I would add the link to the slide deck, which I will, but if you were absent, it's here, okay? And I will also add the prompt for the drawing. But here is the home study writing assignment. So there's a graphic organizer you need to start with. That graphic organizer, I do want you to turn in. And you have the option of scanning it and including it with your assignment or bringing it in on Monday. For your actual essay, you would type it right here into Google Classroom. We'll wait for this to pop up. Now, pay particular attention here because for you 8th graders, this asks for very specific things to be included in each paragraph. So make sure you're slowing down. You're not just going rogue and doing whatever you'd like. Follow the directions that have been given to you and pay particular attention to this. This should be a short essay with paragraphs no longer than 3 to 5 sentences. We are practicing concise language, okay? So we're practicing using very specific words to convey our message without it being very wordy. Don't forget to add your name, teacher, class, and date. That is all, my friends. I promise for 8th grade, I will add those links to your slide deck. So if you missed class today, it's there. If you were here and you're just moving on to home study, there it is. The very last thing I'll show you is just a quick reminder that if you'd like to attend our office hours tomorrow, the 26th, you go to the JCS Middle School home base, and here is the meeting, the meet right here that you would join. And let's see, Mrs. Blau has her office hours at 8 a.m. Miss Cox has her office hours at 8:30. Miss Campbell has hers at 9:30. Miss Nichols at 10, and I have mine at 10:30. I hope you have a fantastic home study day and a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.